This is the Toronto Centre for Canine Education Puppy Q&A. Today, we'll talk about biting and nipping in land sharks, otherwise known as puppies. Why do they do this? Well, dogs, much like very young children, feel the need to put everything in their mouths. This is how they learn about the world. Dogs use their mouths as we use our hands. It's very normal, and in fact, see it as an opportunity to teach your puppy what we call bite inhibition. Bite inhibition is defined as a dog's ability to control the pressure of his mouth when biting, to cause little or no damage to the subject of the bite. This may not be terribly important to you when they're really tiny puppies. However, as they grow to be young adults and older adults, they may be put in a situation where they feel they need to use their mouth to communicate discomfort. We can only teach bite inhibition when a dog is a young puppy, so take the time and do this right. We do not want an adult dog who bites hard and does damage when put in a situation where they feel they must bite. What can exacerbate puppy biting? Rough play, running and jumping children, flowing pants, skirts, and scarves, and high-pitched noises. How can we be proactive? First, let's teach an acceptable behavior. We call it kisses. Smear a bit of peanut butter, cream cheese, or wet food on the back of your hand. Say, kisses, and then offer your hand to your puppy, allowing him or her to have a couple of licks. After a couple of licks, say, thank you, to signal the end of the kisses, and then put your hand behind your back for a few seconds. Repeat this sequence so that the word kisses predicts your hand coming out for licks, and the words thank you predicts stopping it. This is a great way to teach an acceptable behavior that you can eventually ask for if your puppy is mouthing you. Feed meals out of puzzles and food toys to keep their mouths busy and tired. We cannot say this enough. Your dog is an animal who is genetically programmed to work for their food. Eating out of a bowl is an atrocity. Be responsive, not reactive, especially with this behavior challenge. Here's what happens when we use positive punishment, otherwise known as adding an aversive to decrease a behavior. If we squeal or yell, it will excite your dog and mimic prey. They will bite harder and come at you faster. You've just become the squirrel. Congratulations. Squirt bottles can go one of two ways. One, you have a Labrador Retriever and they love it. So now they bite just to get that spray bottle game started. Two, you have a dog who stops when you squirt them, but now they have a negative association with your hands holding something near them. Your groomer and your vet will later curse you for this. They may grow up to be fearful or aggressive when they see children playing with water guns. This is not a risk you want to take. Holding the puppy's mouth shut and pressing their lip against their teeth. These are old school techniques that are sometimes offered up by well-meaning individuals. They are not considered humane practice anymore, and they're simply not nice. They do not teach your dog anything about stopping the biting. In fact, all it teaches them is that when a person holds their mouth shut or simply handles their mouth, again, the groomer and vet will need to do this, they become uncomfortable or experience pain. Many dogs will in fact bite harder after these techniques are administered. Tapping them on the nose or the snout is also not considered very kind and will be very unsuccessful in teaching your dog what to do or not to do instead. Do you want to know what does work? Let me tell you. A bite inhibition program. Start this program today. Days 1 through 3, you will be very patient, and when your puppy bites you, you will become very still and quiet. When it hurts, say, ouch, in a flat tone, and then immediately leave the room or confinement area, preventing your dog from accessing you. Count to 15 and then return. Offer an appropriate chew toy and act like nothing happened, but don't go back to playing rough if that's what you were doing before. Now, when you say ouch, you don't want to scare the puppy. We just want to give a verbal signal that this hurts and is going to make you leave. So eventually, just the ouch is enough to stop them and you won't have to leave the room. Ignoring your puppy won't do anything. Has that worked for anyone ever? Ignoring behavior does not eliminate it. It simply takes your attention away from the moment. It's not effective training. The walking away and removing yourself completely is what works. Leaving the room for 15 seconds and no longer, otherwise your puppy will get into something, is what tells them that biting makes their favorite human disappear. So you may have to utilize a playpen, a baby gate, or a room with a door. Like I said, just turning around or moving away and still being accessible will not work. Your puppy will just redirect to your pant legs or your feet. So again, what you want to do is days 1 through 3, be very patient, and when your puppy bites you, become very still and quiet. When it starts to hurt, say, ouch, in a flat tone, and immediately leave the room or confinement area, preventing your dog from accessing you. Count to 15, and then return to offer an appropriate chew toy. Days 4 through 6, you are going to become a little more sensitive. And when your puppy bites you, you will again become very still and quiet. Before it starts to hurt, say ouch in a flat tone, and again, immediately leave the room or confinement area, preventing your dog from accessing you. Count to 15, return, and offer an appropriate toy. Be consistent. If you only do this every other time your puppy bites you, it will be more like a slot machine at the casino. They will give it a try just in case they have the opportunity to get your attention or to successfully bite at you and get you to play with them. On day 7 and onward, you will be extremely sensitive. As soon as your puppy puts their teeth on your skin, you will become very still and immediately say ouch in a flat tone and leave the room or confinement area, preventing access, count to 15, return and offer an appropriate toy, and act like nothing happened. Don't go back to playing rough. And remember, when we use the word ouch, we don't want to scare the puppy. We also don't want to squeal in a really high-pitched noise, especially if you have a terrier, because what will happen is your dog, again, will see you more as prey in that moment and get very excited. Doing this program start to finish will hopefully prevent your dog from using their full force when they use their mouths as an adult dog. This is money in the bank. What about the witching hour? We're often asked about this. The infamous witching hour. Some call it frapping, frenetic random activity period. Others call it the Zoomies. Your puppy is running at top speed, not a care about the course, bouncing off furniture, walls, people, growling, barking, biting, and play bowing, truly losing their minds. This generally happens between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. nightly. It can also happen after a walk in the rain or the snow. It will almost definitely happen after the bath. And sometimes will even happen when your dog is overstimulated by something new or exciting, like when a visitor comes by. The bad news is that there's little that you can do other than getting up on a chair and getting out of the way. Keep children safe and out of harm's way as well. Puppy-proof the environment and make sure they can't knock anything expensive over or hurt themselves. They will generally go through the Zoomies and then pass out afterwards. Trying to stop it will only suppress it, only to have it become far more explosive the next time. It will also cause them to bite you. This usually passes around 6 months. Unless you have a bull terrier, then you're stuck with this for life, and we end up calling it the bully burst. The post-bath Zoomies are rarely outgrown. That may happen forever. The good news? You'll have fabulous and hilarious footage if you videotape it. In fact, send it to us. We love it. If you're having a hard time with biting and nipping, or even the witching hour, please do get in touch with us and we'd be more than happy to help you.